Cloudy World. And today, man, we're gonna be talking about an artist that y'all may or may not know, whose name is Lil Reese. Now, Lil Reese is one of those artists that's from the south side of Chicago that I feel like gets a lot of just chances and passes that if he was Lil Durk level, King Von level, even Keith level, people would be up in arms about it, man. And I really don't rock with that. I feel like he gets so many passes and scapegoats that some of my favorite artists and respective artists would never get. So we're gonna be breaking down the upcoming rise of Lil Reese, the downfall, and his recent criminal arrest, and really explain why Lil Reese really just ain't that dude. I'm a big believer that people aren't born good or bad. It's all about situation, circumstance, and what you have to do. You see, Lil Reese was born Tavarius Lamont Taylor on January 6, 1993 in Chicago, Illinois. Lil Reese was introduced to a harsh reality in life on the city's violent south side. As someone who grew up on the south side, it's a very beautiful area, but where you get active, it get dangerous. Now, growing up in the notorious neighborhood of Turkerville, Reese was surrounded by gangs, drugs, and violence from an early age. These elements were going to play a significant role in shaping both his music and public persona. Reese's music career began to take off in the early 2010s when he was discovered by a legend, and to me, the greatest of all time, Chief Keith Kozart Keith, another rising star from Chicago's drill scene. He gained early recognition with his feature on Chief Keef's hit, I Don't Like, where Chief Keef gave that dude one of his biggest and greatest hits, and he quickly became an anthem in Chicago. Now, Reese's raw delivery and gritty depictions of street life struck a chord with fans and helped solidify him as a key figure in the burgeoning drill rap scene. This was the era that everyone respected Lil Reese. He was known even as the Grim Reaper, where if he even got a response from him, you was done, dirt. You might as well leave the city that night. Now, he was soon signed to Def Jam Records and continued to release popular tracks such as Traffic. Now, his early music highlights really showed the struggles of Chicago's toughest neighborhoods and blended his personal narrative with the rough realities of gang life and street violence. But the shift from rap star to legal trouble was very apparent, and while Lil Reese's career was taking off, so was his involvement in Chicago's dangerous streets. The drill scene, known for its violent imagery and themes, was more than just a musical movement for Reese. It was his lifestyle. And in 2012, Reese was arrested for a variety of offenses, but it wasn't until 2019 that his legal troubles really began starting to spiral. Now, if y'all are liking this video, I appreciate if y'all subscribe and tap into more of my content. I'm a young artist from Chicago, Illinois, and it really means a lot that y'all support my content. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's jump back in. So in November 2019, Reese found himself in a near fatal altercation where he was hit up and blitzed from the neck during a robbery attempt in the suburbs of Chicago. Now, the incident left him critically wounded, but he survived, and the hit brought an intense spotlight to life. And even as he tried to maintain a presence in the music industry, it just kept getting worse and worse. Now, the reason that I really don't like this man Lil Reese is because he has a really big issue with putting his hands on the opposite of what men are. He's a really big supporter of putting his hands on people that shouldn't have their hands put on them. Now, of course, equal rights, equal whatever. I feel that, I get it. If someone is doing something rude or, whatever to you, of anyone, you have the right to protect yourself. But he ain't protecting himself. He's going out of his way and exerting his authority on a malice way to a lot of these people that are not men. And that is not cool, that should not be supported, and that shouldn't be condoned. And he's one of those artists where I'm glad they put belt to ass. You see, Lil Reese is going viral multiple times, over 3 times to be exact, for either putting his hands on, either taking it to a different level than it needed to be, or just mollywopping the opposite of a man. And that is really gross behavior. And I feel like, especially as artists, we have to understand rappers are very influential. Whether people want to acknowledge it or not, Chief Keef's impact was global. People are doing drill in New York, people are doing drill in Uganda, people are doing drill in Paris, people are doing drill everywhere. People are doing drill in South America. His impact on the culture is revolutionary. But that also means that there are artists who have influence, bigger and smaller, that also can have a strong impact in their own ways. And I don't think that no one needs more Lil Reese, man. Honestly, I don't know what people see in it. His music ain't even banging no more. And I really do respect the impact and legacy he's made for Chicago as a whole. But people like him are no one that we should look up to. Now on October 26, 2024, Reese was arrested again, and this time in connection with multiple charges stemming from high-speed chases and weapon possession. And according to reports, Reese was pulled over after leading law enforcement on a high-speed chase through the streets of Chicago. Yeah, that boy Reese wasn't trying to go out like that. And honestly, I feel it. In Chicago, no lacking is law. Either you get caught or you don't. It's one or the other. Now the arrest immediately made headlines because, as we already know, he had a prior criminal history and was already on probation status, and it marked the latest chapter in a series of legal entanglements for the rapper. Now this particular incident was especially concerning due to Reese's history with the law and the possibility it could result in a significant prison sentence. It also added to the growing narrative that Reese's life, which was once filled with the promise of an amazing, successful music career with artists such as Dirk and Keith, was derailing due to his continued association with street life and criminal politics. Now, many people also want to understand, because Lil Reese's situation also is emblematic of the tragic cycle that many artists from this background face. And it makes me even sadder because he's from my city, from my area, and from my area of the south side of Chicago. So seeing him go through these things makes me, as someone who at one point looked up to him, be very disappointed. The rapper's fans, many of whom have followed his rise from the streets of Chicago to the mainstream rap world, have been divided in their reactions to his ongoing legal troubles. And while some continue to support him, others have expressed concern over his refusal to distance himself, change his ways, and get away from the violence and danger that has plagued his career. As of now, Reese is not only facing multiple legal challenges that could determine his career, but his arrest in 2024, paired with his criminal past, raises a lot of questions about whether he will be able to make a successful comeback in anything, whether his time in the spotlight has already passed. Overall, Lil Reese's story is one of both potential and tragedy. From the heights of his early rap career to the depths of his legal issues, Reese embodies the struggle of many artists who come back from a troubled background. And his recent arrest in 2024 has only intensified people in their feelings about his future, whether he can break free from that criminal era, and whether he'll allow it to continue to overshadow his talented music career. Whether or not he can find redemption, both in his personal life and career, truly remains to be seen. Cloudy World, and let me know your thoughts about Lil Reese, his criminal past, what he's going through, and overall what you all think about what's going on with Lil Reese, OTF, Lil Durk, and even Keith overall. Cloudy World, and we gone.